How's it going, everybody? Bye, David. Have a good night. Sorry it's 1 a.m. in England. I know. Stupid job that pays me real money. Taking all my stupid time. Sorry. But have a good night, man. Have a good night. Thanks for being here, everybody. Leonardo is number 1. Good citizen. Father Time, how's it going? Haven't touched the bug, dude. Haven't touched it. But the batteries are about to be repurposed for the solar up at the Hobbit Hole. The Hobbit Hole. Oh, man. How's everybody doing? I've missed you guys. It's been too long. And I'm not going to be able to stream this Sunday either because, again, work. And then probably for several Sundays in a row, I'm going to be streaming from the Hobbit Hole, I guess, because that's where we'll be for a lot of weekends. Although what we might do is go up, stream and then go up, something like that. So sorry, 3 a.m. Go get some Dr. Pepper so you can stay awake for a little bit and hang out with us. See, Leonardo's got it right. It's 10 p.m. in Argentina. You guys are further to the east than I knew. I didn't know that. 2 a.m. in Sweden. So sorry, guys. I feel so bad. 1 a.m. in the UK. Sorry. Disney World this Sunday, 4 tracks? All right, man. Have fun. I wonder, let us know how it is. Not that I like going there anyways, but let us know how it is. I'm curious to see what people's experiences are with the, I don't know what they're doing. Doing lines differently, masks, no masks. Hey, Frank's here. Hey, Frank. Thanks for being here, Frank. That's just for Frank. I don't have a train. Thursday morning in Malaysia. Wow. Thanks, BH. How you doing? So I got a pretty fun little stream planned up for us tonight. So here's where we go. 35% capacity. Well, that's my kind of. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty darn good to me. 35% capacity. That's just how I like it. C# Worm Jorge's here. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, Jacob. How's it going? All right. And I didn't say hi, Mark, but I saw you there. I saw you. Okay, here we go. Thanks for subscribing. So, this is how I've got it laid out in my mind tonight. This is a Banggood stream. Do a lot of these now. Works well for them, works well for me. So, Banggood stream, we'll do that. We'll talk about these things that they gave me for the next probably 10, 15 minutes or so. And then we'll go on to, I want to talk about wLED-12. wLED-12. And I've got 2 new pieces of hardware to play with. One of them is I'm going to tease you a little bit here. One of them is the QuinLED-ESP32 external antenna. What? That's right. Oh, look, the PCB is even white so that it'll show up. This is the first QuinLED-ESP32 external antenna. So for those of you that ordered them, they were all shipped out this week from my store and I think from Quindor's as well. So thank you for being willing to be the testers. Any of you guys here in the stream tonight order one of these or 2 for testing? Let me know how it's going. We definitely want some feedback. We'll make sure that they're working well so that we can really hit the mass production. And then my buddy John next door, my genius next door, just brought me. This is the Pixel Pro version 4. Ooh. So I made those Pixel Pros and had, I don't remember how many we had, 100 of them maybe, 200 of them, I can't remember for sure. But this is the next version. It's got a USB-C jack on there, and we put some pins there so you can put a microphone. And then it's got like the voltage sensing, so you can connect anything between 5 and 24 volts to it. You don't have to worry about the jumper. It'll just connect and detect and work and not blow up. So pretty awesome. Whoa, 11:30 in the morning in Adelaide, Australia. Well, good morning. Quindor says US only, and I'm in Canada. Oh, Andrew. Oh, dang. Well, we'll get Canada sorted out. Got mine a week ago, working perfectly. Fantastic. Hey, Paul. First time for Bill. Bill gets some of this then. And then we'll talk about Banggood, and then we'll get on the road. We'll get to doing what we got to do. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so Banggood thing number 1, and the links for all this stuff is in the video description, is another soundbar. So I talked before about the Xiaomi soundbar, and then like a little tiny soundbar thing that was more like a desktop speaker that was from Blitzwolf. So the desktop speaker from Blitzwolf was fine. It has those LEDs in the bottom. Remember we opened it up and looked at it and stuff. The sound was fine for what it was, for the price wise. This one definitely is an improvement. I would still say this isn't quite as good as the Xiaomi one, but this one's cheaper. And I would show it to you like physically in my hands, but I put it in the RV. So it's out there in the RV, but it works well. It does the Bluetooth thing. It does give you a little bit of an indicator light here. This just really tells you what mode it's in. So not too tricky. Sound on this is pretty solid. I did listen to, what was it? It was when I had it connected to Bluetooth. This is important. When I had it connected to Bluetooth, there was a little bit more of like a kind of a crackle. But when I had it connected, not crackle, but it just sounded a little crunchy. I don't know. I mean, that's not a very technical thing. Paul Hibbert would make fun of me for my audio stupidness. But it sounded a little funny, and I think it might be maybe the Bluetooth chips, a cheaper one. I don't know for sure. But when I hooked it up directly with a speaker, with the 3.5 millimeter jack, sounded really good. Really good. So it's $40, $50 less or so than the Xiaomi one, which you can't get in the US anyways. So anyways, I like this one. It works well. Enjoying it out in the RV, kind of boosting the TV sound so we can hear it in the back a little bit better. I know I make you go broke, sorry. So anyways, this one's a solid second place. It's a solid second place. I like it. All right. Let's do this next one then. The next one is a combo sort of deal here. First, we got, I don't even know if we should do first. We should probably do this first. This is first. First, solar panels. Flexible. I say flexible. They're not really supposed to bend, but they definitely do. They're definitely not like super rigid, which is nice because that way they don't crack. In my mind, that's good. So they don't crack. But this is like a camping, portable solar pack, but it's not small. Like it's hard to get the picture of it in there. I guess that probably gives you the best indication because there's the size of somebody's hand. So it's not small. It's pretty good size, and it puts out 18 volts. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. So, and then this thing, and it's all this stuff, waterproof, it's got this rack here. Inside this bag, again, this is also out in the RV. I took it all up to Aidendale this past weekend and used it up there. But inside this bag here is where you can store all these connectors. And it's where all the connections are made like for output. Okay. And the output goes to this guy. Yeah, the output goes to this guy. This guy, it's like a little mini charger / inverter. So mine, of course, has a US plug on it. Not this one, but it has a US plug on it. And it charges several things at once. I could never get this flashlight. I couldn't find the button or anything to turn on the flashlight. I don't know where the button is hiding for the flashlight. But anyways, it's a, for the size of it, it's a pretty good battery pack. I mean, we charged a lot of phones and stuff over the weekend up there with it, and it didn't really have an issue. If I was going to say the one tricky thing was you have to actually turn it on. So a lot of these chargers, when you plug something in, it just turns on. This one, you plugged it in and you have to turn it on for it to turn on. Okay, whatever. And then if you're going to use the AC output, you have to tell it that you're going to use the AC output. Simon says, flashlight on. Maybe that's what I didn't try. I should have tried that. I should have known that. But anyways, in all my off-the-grid adventures, this stuff is going to come in pretty handy. We already used it once this past weekend up there. And the weather up there was so crazy. We didn't really get to charge the solar panel very much, or charge using the solar panel very much. I would like to be able to charge my RV batteries, but I'm going to have different panels to do that. So anyways, it's a lot of good fun toys. Thank you, Banggood, for supplying them, and anybody who's interested in checking these things out, he puts on these flash deals when I do these streams. So I do a stream, talk about, hey, this is this cool thing they sent me, this is how it works, is what I think of it. And then they give you a sale for whatever period of time, a few days or something. This one says 3 days. 3 days. 2 of them sold already. Is that you guys? Nice job. This one doesn't say when the sale ends. Interesting. Huh. So cool. Questions about those things? Recently received my Home Assistant Blue. It's rare that I call hardware gorgeous, but it's so nice. Isn't it so nice? Like I have to have mine on display, right? I heard flexible solar panels work great, but they don't last long because of heat. And the original ones have more of a heat sink on them. Ooh, that's a good, you know what? I'll have to, of course, I haven't had them long enough to really put that to the test, but I will watch out for that. And I will report back if it becomes a problem. Probably true. It makes sense, right? Pairing solar with batteries, good deal. Definitely. The ship doesn't sail to my home. 2 young kids. Oh. Simon says, you have 2 young kids at your house though, Frank? Oh, the crackle. Okay. About to print the cover of my custom case. The base is already done. It's for the QuinLED quad board, self-built. And my fuse board. So, Andrew, so QuinLED quad, you're talking about the analog dimming kind of a board, right? You can be up till 2 in the morning, not worry about getting up. I wish. I'm going to be up at 2 in the morning tonight. It's going to be, I think maybe the reason that's so much is because it's portable. I don't know. But pair those together. They're good. Now, let's get on to something else. 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. I knew you had a little one, but I guess maybe it has been enough years. Gosh. What was I gonna say? Something about something. Oh, Mr. DIY said first time on the live stream. So, we'll party. It's like Superman. What I want to do now is look at the latest beta of wLED. You guys ready for this? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Air Cookie just sent me this. Like, he sent me a message at 6:45, and he said, hey, I see that you're going to stream about 0.12 tonight. I'm sorry, I got to go to bed, but here's some release notes. So this is what is in the soon-to-be released, I don't think it's been officially released yet, wLED 0.12. Let's see if it has. Because when I got the binaries a couple days ago, it was still technically beta. Yeah, so the latest is still showing up as 11.1, but very soon it will kick over to 0.12, right? Hey, William, how you doing? Good to see you again. Finally made it back. We'll do the train. We'll do the train for William. Hey, Omar. All right, oh, Chris is here too. How's it going, Chris? Chris is going to help me with put my solar in. When I was telling my contractor about the solar thing, and I was, because I'm going to have the electrician do some parts of it. I told him, it's going to be great. It's like this DIY thing. I've got all the instructions and everything. And he goes, oh, he's going to hate that. He doesn't want to have somebody tell him how to do it. Sorry. Okay, so I have here, thanks to Bossman, the beta for wLED. I guess I should put that in the description as well. You do have a train. I do have a train. It's not nearly as much fun as yours. Can't stay long. All right, see you, Mike. Got the DrZzs? Awesome. Any info on changes next version of DrZz? I got mine yesterday. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Doug. So, well, Quintor's been talking about the changes. There's nothing, I don't think, super different about the function. Although, this is what we're going to talk about. Because the DrZz is now really a DrZquado. No, DrZduo. That's it. It's a DrZduo. It's a DrZduo. Because you can do multiple outputs. What kind of solar setup? I can tell you all about the solar setup. You want the B2, do I? It's right here. Spam risk. Go away, spam risk. All right, Daniel made the live stream. Thanks for being here, Daniel. All right, I already downloaded this, but you guys can go here and download the one you need. What you might notice is that there is no 16-pin version or pin 16 version. So if you're using an ESP32 on the DrZzUno, you need I think even on the quad, right? You need the pin 16 version, which will be out on the main releases. But for now, this is just Boss Man that put these bins together to make it easy for folks who want to play with the beta. And I'm not going to hook up any LEDs to this tonight anyways. It's just going to be running on, it's actually going to be running on one of my Pixel Pros. So yeah, let's do the beta 2. So here we go. I got this. This is the Pixel Pro. And we're going to go in here and do this update. Security and updates. Manual OTA update. So right now it's running version 10. So first thing you got to do, and I feel so bad when people pick your pins in the UI. Oh, that's true. Wait, let's read the release notes. Let's do that crazy thing that Frank always tells us to do. Read the release notes. Let's do that because that's right. I totally forgot. That was the whole point here. Okay, so welcome to 12. This top line is the main thing. Support for multiple LED outputs. 10 possible outputs on the ESP32. We need the quad. We need the Dig Deca. I'm sure QuinLED's working on it. And 3 of them if you're using an 8266 even. So if you've got an old Dig Uno with an 8266, regular D1 Mini, you can still do up to 3 outputs. And because the Dig Uno has 2 output terminals, one for pin 2 and pin 3? Pin 3 and pin 4, pin 2 and pin 4, I can't remember for sure, but there's 2 anyways. That's why you can now use it as a Dig Duo. You can output 2 different things. Okay. All right. Pins and LED type can be configured at runtime. There we go. So you're right. Pins, no more changing binaries. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. And LED type. Interesting. I thought we had that before. Right? I wonder what he means by LED type. But because I thought we were able to do like RGBW and WW in addition to the regular RGB. But this, being able to configure the pins live from the UI. Oh, fantastic. Palette previews. This is nice. Actually, I could have used this last night. So last night I'm laying in bed with my little girls and we were doing something green. We were watching a video with some girl that builds Legos, and she was doing a whole Lego set in green. And so the girls were like, "Oh, let's make the lights on the ceiling green." I'm like, okay. So we were scrolling through, and we really just had to randomly pick palettes that kind of sounded like they would be green. But with the palette preview now, we'd be able to see which palettes are actually green. So we'll get to play with that. Search the palettes and the effects. That's fantastic. That's nice. Rather than just scroll through and pick it, you can just search it. Awesome. Instance list. Simply jump from one wLED device to another without remembering IPs. Ooh. I wonder how that's going to work. Various LED chip types. APA 102, etc. Oh, okay. Cool. Hey, Nick. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Census. Nah, skip it. Okay. 2 new effects. Oh, great. Funny. 2 new LED effects. Snap your interface. Okay, cool. Let's do it. All right, now choose file. You know where all my files live. Flash easy. wLED. 12. Let's see. It's in here. Where did I put it? 12 beta 2 ESP32 right there. Boom. Okay. Update. Oh, I was gonna say I feel bad when people they'll get a Dig Uno or Dig Quad and the first thing they'll do is try and flash it. Like, I mean, you can. There's no reason that you can't hook it up and flash it, but it comes flashed. And even if you want to update to the latest version, because we can't ship them with the latest version if the latest version came out after they were built, you can just do this way, just over the air. Just over the air. It's so much easier. Yeah, when are you going to stream again? Frank, ever? Ever more? Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh, so there is your palette previews. Oh, that is, man, just makes the interface look so pretty. And then here you can search for color winkles. Orangery, orange and teal. This is awesome. Tiamat. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. Sweet. So we got the searching there, and we can search here for like ocean or whatever. Yeah. Awesome. And then this even tells you color 1. So if you change this to blue, it shows you down here which ones change. Oh, that's awesome. And if you do this, it shows you the different colors. And if you do this, you can even get the third color to show up. Oh, that's so good. Oh, so good. So good. Home Assistant Launch Party doesn't count. That's true. I like it though. Had to flash 1 to get it working. Oh, sorry, Peter. Yeah, I guess we're working on quality control over there. Definitely had some quality control issues. Sorry about that. Okay, now let's look at the fun stuff. Is there anything else here in the UI that, before we go back here, let's see. Segments. If we open up a segment, okay, I just wanted to see if it was anything about different pins. It must be in here somewhere. We'll wait back. No, this is the same. Yep. Okay. I do want to do the peak up here. Okay, sweet. Now, Aurora. Why is Aurora not doing anything? Interesting. Oh. That was one of the new ones, wasn't it? Anyways, let's see. Sync timer. Okay, back to config. Wi-Fi setup. Okay, here we go. Let's just see if there's anything here. Doesn't look like anything has changed here at quick glance. Oops. LED preferences. Okay. LED count. Current. This. Here we go. LED outputs. This is the winner. Big winner. All right, so you pick, oh man, you could even pick what kind of LEDs are on different pins and in the order, and then which pin. Oh my gosh. And then on a different pin, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. I don't know if those are the same or not, but we're going to change that. And then we're going to put them on pin number. Pins, can we put them on anything, right? Wow. Wow. So this one, we'll make this one like 22, and then we'll make this one from 22 to 42. I'm just saying. LED memory usage. Oh, that's nice to know. Relay pin. What? So you can set up a relay pin. So a lot of people ask about that. A lot of people say, is there a way in wLED that I can turn off my power supply to the LEDs? If of course, you don't want to do that if your power supply is powering your board, your control board. But if your control board has a separate power supply from your LEDs, and you don't want your LED power supply running all the time, you can turn off, you can hook up a relay to the power supply for your LEDs. And with this, you can connect the relay and even a button. Oops, sorry, hit this. And even a button to control that relay. Oh, see, this wasn't even in the release notes. Wow. Rock solid for the, oh, yes. That's fantastic. Oh, did Pixel Bob have a problem? I didn't see Pixel Bob. It doesn't count? It counts. It counts for me. If Williams, who is giving you a hard time about accounting, that's okay. Is there a target release, final release, or just simply when the bugs are fixed? Good question, Grotto. I can't tell you exactly, but I think, let's see what he says. Way too tired, going to sleep now. Here I do have preliminary tool and release notes for you. Have fun. Yeah, he doesn't tell me. Air Cookie didn't tell me exactly when he's planning on doing the final release, but I know they've been talking about it for a while, and the fact that it's gotten to this point would indicate that it's probably soon, but don't know. So you can also have an infrared receiver. You can connect an infrared receiver. This is probably, I wonder if this is a different button, or if this is the zero. GPI 0 has been connected to a button, or as a button that would do like the long press, short press, that kind of thing. So you can do an infrared. If you had an infrared remote control you wanted to play with, you could do that. Or if you wanted to control it with infrared. I don't know much about that. I haven't tried that. Excuse my yawning. And then aux pin. I wonder if this is could that be the audio? Do you think that's the audio, like the microphone? I wonder if it is. Because I know audio reactivity has been a sort of subcategory, right? Somebody has done that and is releasing an audio reactive version of wLED. I haven't played with it yet, but we did on the Pixel Pro break out pins specifically for the connection of a microphone for that purpose. It'll be fun to play with that. Okay. Well, this is the one right here. That is huge. So right there, instantly and easily, you can set up multiple outputs. Now, if you're on the Dig Uno, there's only 2 output pins available, like per the board, right? Even though if you have an ESP32 on there, you could have more outputs. The Dig Quad has the 4 outputs, but that's all. So if you wanted to take advantage, if you want to take full advantage and do 10 different segments running 10 different things, you would have to put it on your own custom kind of a thing. So you would have to do your ESP32 connected to whatever breadboard or something you soldered up yourself, and then set up your different pins that way. You need to install one of those in your house. Any kind of LEDs that recommended for outdoor use. The WS2011 pixels, bullet pixels, are really good for outdoor use. Does wLED work with Alexa? Oh, it sure does, Grotto. Sure does, man. Sure does. It has worked pretty well for a while. The way you do that, nope, it's not user interface, but I do want to see this just to see. I see server description. I'm going to call this the Pixel Pro V4. Color wheel sliders, that's all been the same. Show buttons, I hate dark mode. Okay, those are all the same. You can do a custom background. Those are all the same things in that way. Sync interfaces, this is where your Alexa stuff's going to come in. So here's your broadcasting stuff. Notifications, button press, IR. So here, Alexa, when it says send notifications, that means like from this one to something else, I think. Enable instance list. Here we go. Enable instance list. Where's that going to show me my instance list? I'll look for that for a minute. But basically, here's where you get it to work with She Who Shall Not Be Named, Alexa, etc. Hey, Sir Goodenough. How's it going? Hey, Tech Turtle. What'd you miss? We're talking about wLED version 12. Woo. Step-by-step video of soldering a level shifter and an ESP32. Oh, man. What I can do, Moose, is refer you to the video I did about Hyperion, because I did it in there. I did show the hookup of a logic level shifter in that Hyperion video. So if you go back here to Hyperion, somewhere in here, I'll get a search for it. I have my, what is happening? Oh, it's because it's dark mode. I can't even see it. This one. So in here, somewhere, because remember I was like, oh, I want to show you how to do that. It's going to be a pain, but I did. I did it for you. There. So somewhere around here. Probably about 16 minutes in, maybe 16, 18 minutes in is where it is. Anyways, what I was going to say is I have a script written. Oh, shush. I have a script written for the Luciferin video. And Luciferin is similar. So there's the logic level shifter, and I show you how to wire it up. What to do with it, how to connect it. The principles, I'm hooking it up to a Pi, but the principles are the same if you're hooking it up to just the ESP32. You really just need the output pin, a common ground, 5 volts and 3 volts. Okay, so it's there. Check that out. That should help you quite a bit. What was I talking about? Does anybody remember? I can't remember. I don't know. Hey, Martin, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you forever. Martin, are you still my oldest patron from Patreon? I think you are. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you've been around forever. Squirrel! Home Assistant with USB GSM stick for SMS alerts for alarm and friends to pay. Need one nearby. GMS stick. I don't know about that. Good question, Bob. That's fun. I don't know. I think you might be better off trying to use, I don't know how you can do that. SMS alerts for alarm, send to friends and anyone nearby. Can you do that? Can you like spam SMS? Can you do that? Just like anywhere close by and just send them an SMS message? That seems like it should be regulated. Uh-oh. We're running low on the DP. That's bad. Mucho bad. Mucho bado. Sports SMS service. There you go. There you go, Bob. Frank says, use ESP Home, ESP32 plus the SIM 800L. I was talking about instances. Thank you very much, Karen. Thank you very much, Karen. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. Next time. So, I wonder how this works. Make this instance discoverable. I wonder if I need to maybe have a couple of them running with this version in order for it to be discovered and discoverable. Wonder where it would show up. So let's do that. Let's try and let's see if this one will work. Yeah, it will. Okay, so let's update another one. This is my little matrix over here. So let's update this one. Oh gosh, what's it running? Oh, let's go back here. We'll look and see which version it's running. So it's the 8266 version. So let's go get the 8266 version. That's okay. We can do that too. Beta 2. And this one is not, this one is not on a, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I could change the pins if I want. Right? I don't even need a reason. If I kill all the gophers, they'll lock me up and throw away the key. Oh, gophers. Oh, we can kill them. We don't even need a reason. Actually, I said it wrong. But that, you know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? Name that movie where he tries to kill the gophers. They're golfers. The gophers. Anyways. Oh, man. Okay, config. Security updates. Manual update. Choose a file. 12 B2 8266 Caddyshack. That's right. I knew Sir Goodenough would be the man. Well, we can do that. We don't even need a reason. We used to say that when we were kids all the time. We quote that. Oh, yeah, we can do that. We don't even need a reason. Another squirrel. Do I have any experience with Wemo light switches and Home Assistant tips and tricks? I do not have any Wemo light switches, but I'm sure some people have. Anybody else out there got Wemo light switches that can tell Wayne how they do? All right. So, beautiful. And it maintained my background. So nice. So nice. So let's go into config. Let's go to the sync interfaces. And enable instance list and make this instance discoverable. Okay, so we did that. Let's see, does it show up down here somewhere? Boot, Philips Hue. Has anybody seen it? Palette blending, target brightness. Hardware setup. 17 amp, 1.21 gigawatts. Oh, info. Oh, thank you, Frank. Oh, nodes right there. That's it. There it is. But what did you say, Frank? Instance list. Oh, there it is. Cool. But it's also right here in this nodes list. Oh, and it takes you right there. Did you see that? So now this one should see the other one, instance list. Current instance, no other instances found. Refresh. Huh. Wonder why this one's not finding the other one. The other one found this one, but this one didn't find the other one. Interesante. Current instance. This one has it. Huh. Let's reboot it. Let's do the reboot. Maybe that'll do it. All right? This one just might need a reboot. Save and reboot. Turn it off, turn it back on again. What could possibly go wrong? Setting search would be wonderful. Oh, still not there. Instance list. No, it was sync. Should be discovered. Maybe that's a bug still. Oh, now it's not showing up either. No, now this one is saying it's no other link. Maybe they're not. Let's see, are they on the same UDP port? 21, 324. Thank you, Orc Pride. Oh, hey man, how you doing? Are you working? You're not working, are you, Eric? Because I'll be in a couple hours. We're doing so I know for all of you that are up late in Europe, I have to go into work tonight. Oh, there it is. Now it showed up. Current instance matrix, and then this one. So let's see if maybe it just needs a little time. You just have to refresh enough times. Kind of weird that. I don't know. That's weird. I need this version. So if you want it, here it is. I'll drop the link again in the description. Not working tonight? Oh, okay. Streambot SMS notifications. Can send and not receive. That's weird. You are stressing. Am I stressing? Probably. I got enough to stress about. How do I get this? I need this version. There you go. All right. Good night, Nick. Good night. Well, that instance thing is pretty cool. But I wonder... Looks to be... I wonder how it works. And oh, now there it goes. So now this one detected it. So it's a little hit and miss. And this very, very possibly could be my network. Because we all know who's got network problems. Who's got two thumbs on network problems? This guy. What's happening to my lights? Lights keep flashing behind me. All right, good night, Nick. Oh, there it goes again. Do you see that? It's like barely seeing something out of the corner of my eye. Oh, all right. Hey, thanks, Martin. I don't know why it doesn't say anything, but thank you very much. Would you like unicorns or planes? Unicorns or planes. Off topic, but why would one of my entities from my light not show up in node red? Good question. What are some of the reasons why it might not show up? That one, this thing is freaking out. I can't even get it to turn off. Ah! Maybe it's synced. It just keeps on. Oh, I know why it keeps coming back on, because I'm streaming. It's set to come on when I'm streaming, so it's coming on, and every time I turn it off, it just instantly turns back on. Unicorns? You said unicorns. I see it there in your thing. My network is totally haunted. Killing me. Frankie, you see it in developer? That's you flashing the lights? Yeah. Should be, huh? Should be. Somebody would get on the ball and fix his paging system. It's just really driving me a little batty. Oh, that's what it's doing. Yeah, it is this thing just rebooting constantly. I think I want to turn it off. I'm going to just unplug it because it's driving me nuts. Did you hear that? Admitting another liver recipient for another. Oh my gosh. Jeez. They're gonna, and it's funny. Anyways. Whew, that didn't sound healthy. Sorry, I dropped something. It was a candle. Big one. Twitch froze? Oh, I'm sorry. Dang it. Is it back? No, it didn't break, but it smells good. I don't think it broke. Okay, so super awesome. So this will find any of them that are updated. So let's find another one. Let's find another one that's update and update it. I can't remember what the addresses for all these are. This matrix here, we can check this one. Oh, unless it doesn't want to cooperate, which it does not appear to want to. Okay. 177. Oh, no, that's the one out front. Desk LEDs. Oh, come on! I know you're working. I wonder if my router gave them different IP addresses because the stupid router has done stupid router things several times. Been rebooted and such. Or it could be that because the access point up here near my office has been on the fritz. Yep, none of them are working. Sweet. Yeah, awesome. The hotel network is haunted? Yeah. All right, well, let's answer some questions. Liver transplant, the result of drugs and alcohol, yeah. You know what, usually actually around here it's usually well, a lot of it nowadays they give people a lot of points. They boost them up on the transplant list if they have cancer, actually, because they're otherwise pretty healthy. Just they have a cancer in their liver, and the treatment for it is get rid of the liver. And so they give them a new liver that doesn't have cancer in it, and then they do fine. Cancer doesn't come back, and they don't have all the other problems. That is not the case for the people we're doing tonight, based on what they were telling me already. Oh, some more permatrack. Some more till Unos. Get out of the craziness. All right. I was going to look at questions. Let's look at questions and answers. Live stream questions. Yes. I got no questions. Huh. Is it not working? Hey, Arthur, how are you doing? I'm doing good. The network here is bad as yours. Mine's pretty bad. Mine is pretty bad. Yeah, not much there. Nobody's asking questions. All right. Let's just see what's in the chat here. How did your project turn out for the Mark Rober class? I'm in the next round month end and excited. Awesome. It turned out pretty good. Let me think. What did I do? I did a dishwash. I wanted to make like a dishwash game where, you sprayed the dishes and you had a timer and stuff. And I got pretty close, but then I think where I messed up or where I ran into troubles was getting the getting enough power to the motors. So that's what I set it aside at the end of that. But como ta pasi? That must not be Spanish. That must be Portuguese or something, huh? What is that? Should be working. It looks like it's working. Yeah, it looks to me like it's working. I'm getting the questions. They're good enough for sure. And then let's see, what else did I do? I did do something. Oh, I did the game. Are you kidding? I did the dragon game. I got the dragon game working again. That was fun. And that's still working good. And that was when I started to use the ESP32 Ethernet boards, which, you know what I'm going to end up using more than that. Oh, we can switch over and play with this now. I don't want to forget about this. You know, with Quindor has his own little QuinLED-ESP32 now, and an Ethernet hat that goes on top of this. So when I want to use Ethernet for something, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Ethernet for that. The thing is, I don't think it's PoE at all, because it's meant to run LEDs. So I don't think you can do PoE. And some of these other boards, like the Olimex boards, are going to do PoE. They do work with PoE. So weird, restarting worked. I should know. Yeah, always the thing. Always a thing. All right, well, let's do this. Let's flash this baby. Let's flash this baby. Ugh. All right, I'm going to disconnect my Pixel Pro, so it's going to disappear from over there. Pixel Pro's down. Let's plug in the QuinLED-ESP32. Now, this one is not pre-flashed. So if you bought those QuinLED-ESP32s, it is not pre-flashed. I don't know which one of these it is. Okay, it's going to be number 3. For those of you wondering what I just did, I just unplugged it so that I could see which one disappears. Get out of my green screen, you turkey. Okay, and then we're going to browse for the right one. We're going to go with wLED and ESP32, this one. And that guy, and flash. Easy peasy. What's the bin file name for wLED Dig Uno? This one. Well, wLED Dig Uno. So if you have the Dig Uno that has the D1 Mini on top, then it is the 8266 version. So if you have an Uno and you didn't put your own ESP32 on there, then it comes with an 8266. So use this one. And just because it's probably lost again in the chat, there you go. Italia, Salta, Italia. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, failed to connect the light. I can figure out why. It's flashing very, very well. Very good flashing. Starlink. It sends 100 watts by PoE. Does it really? I got Starlink for the Hobbit hole. I don't know if I told everybody that or not. I should have put that in that blog post. Well, I'll probably have to do a whole nother blog post just about that. But yeah, Starlink for the Hobbit hole. Oh yeah, baby. Is there a Docker version of wLED? wLED runs on the controller, SurgeHawk. wLED runs on the ESP8266 or the ESP32, so not a Docker container. Okay? All right. Oh, now you know what's going to happen to this dang thing? It's going to show up over here, and I'm probably not going to be able to connect to it because this is my dumb network thing. So we'll have to try this a few times to get it to connect, because that's what it does, because it hates me. It was? Oh, maybe he told me they weren't coming flashed, Crasher. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think they were coming flashed. I thought they had to be. Oh, Quindor's here. Whoa, hey, how's it going, man? Hey, guess what we're doing right now? We just flashed the Quin LED ESP32. Just gonna update it. Just flashed it with the beta of version 0.12. And now trying to fight with my Wi-Fi network to get it to connect. Stupid thing. Stupid thing. I hate you. You stupid thing. Use my phone. Does the same thing on the phone. Does the same thing. So sometimes you just gotta trick it, unplug it, plug it back in, try again. Every once in a while, we'll hit it just right. We'll time it just right. It's connected. I think. Yes, it is connected. Yes. Okay. So now we can go to 4.3.2.1. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, please. Please. Yeah. Proxy script. It usually opens up Edge. It doesn't usually open up. It doesn't usually do it on Chrome. Little confused. Says it's connected. Maybe it's because it's S. Oh, there it is. Okay, it just took a minute. Wi-Fi settings. Yes, got to get it to connect to the network so we don't have to mess with this anymore. Okay. QESP. Oh, I know why it's not working very well. Oh, tell me this, Quindor, since you're here. I don't have the external antenna connected, so it's probably like super struggling, right? It's like, oh yeah, if you don't have the external antenna connected, if you don't have this on there, then it's probably like hardly got any antenna at all, right? Can run down for the latecomers? Yeah, sure, Moose. Yeah, sure. There's no way I can do this without glasses. Ouch. Very tiny. There it goes. Okay. That's probably going to work a bit better now. Oh yeah, without the antenna, range will be bad. Let me show you guys what I just did. Move all incriminating information away from the desk. Oh no. Camera not working. Son of a... Okay. That's what happens when you don't stream for 2 weeks. Oh, everything goes to pot. All right, let's find the camera. I want to use my desk camera and show you how you put this little antenna on there because it's a little bit tiny. Desk cam. Properties. There it goes. Huh, go figure. Now it's working. Okay. We're going to do this. Yes. And we're going to do this. We're going to focus it. Yeah, we'll focus it at 20. Yeah, that's good exposure. Okay, great. Good. Deal. Done. Awesome. Now. Zoop. Okay. So this is it. This is the the QuinLED-ESP32 external antenna version. All right. Got these. Here's your external antenna. This part goes here. Like my thumb. Hurts. And then this part, this is the main dude here. So it's got this little thing here. This little guy. It's got to go right there. Right there. So, get on your spectacles. All right, you got to go to bed, Quindor. I totally understand, man. I totally understand. I'm going to have to, next week, I'm going to have to pick a day to stream late again because I'm sure I'm not going to stream on Sunday. I swear my job is trying to kill me. All right, you got to be super careful. So this has a little pin in the middle. So you want to make sure you don't bend that sucker. You're putting it in here. Just goes right on top of that guy, and then you just press it in there. There. There you go. Okay, there you go. And that's what it is. Now, you should have pretty extended range. Pretty nice range, eh? Pretty nice range. Wow. Hey, Justin Z, how's it going? Okay, now that that is taken care of, we should have another new wLED board on our Unify. Oh, you know what I did? I set this back to the defaults. That's why it's all bright. Sorry for blinding everyone. Huh. You want to find the thing that just most recently got added? Huh. Maybe it needs to be rebooted. Probably does. A little warm. Definitely a little warm. Okay, come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Gosh, do you see even how slow this is to respond and stuff? Man. Can you hear me madly clicking on this thing to not search, you know? Do you have to resolder a resistor to select the antenna option? Good question. You do not. Okay, good. Okay, so this should be called wLED something. 78. That's probably it right there. There it is. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, PC mode. And then this is the beautiful interface here. What I would like to do, you know what I would like to do is hook this thing up to like a battery pack, and see how far we can go and still connect to it. Right? So we can get some kind of idea. Have you done any tests like that, QuinLED, to see like what the range is on this with the external antenna? What's the range supposed to be? What if you just Google range? So Wi-Fi range, ESP32 external antenna. See what Google says. Long range mode. Oh, the guy with the Swiss accent has some external antenna information. He probably built his own. External antenna to improve. Modifications coming to test. It can't guarantee. No, this was people are doing it. Cam Wi-Fi signal. Testing the Wi-Fi range of ESP32 from 2017. Not yet, but it also really depends on the antenna you connect. The one you get with it is a basic one. Still a lot better than the onboard. But you can buy a more beefy one if you need it. Ah, very nice. Very nice. 68,000 nuts. Oh, I know what you get for that. I got something for you. Is it good enough? I got something for you. Some difference says there doesn't need to be a different version for LED type. And now that there's an internal option too. Yes. So for those of you just getting to us, oh, somebody wanted to know about these. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So this right now, this is an unofficial repository. This is just Bossman. He just he just binaried up the beta version to make it easier for people to try out that didn't do a lot of compiling themselves, like me. And Quindor's got an article about it. Oh, good. So Quindor has an article about version 0.12. I know you talked about it on the stream before, and we can talk about the main points here again in a minute. But what these are, for whoever it was that asked, these are for different types of ESP32 board. So You could run it on an ESP01. Not very many people probably would, but you can. And if you don't know what that is, you don't have one. The ESP32, well, so this is beta 1 and this is beta 2. Just stick with beta 2 already. You can just skip these. So just go right to these. So you probably don't need the ESP01. The one that I'm using is the ESP32 version because that's what I'm using, ESP32s. If you had an ESP32 that had the Ethernet connection, or you were using it through Ethernet, then this binary is ready for you. If you don't know what that is, you don't have one either. And then if you're using it on an ESP8266, which would be like the Node MCU or the D1 Mini or a Sonoff, you know, the older ones, the ESP8266 is the older chip, still very good, very cheap, but it's not as powerful as the 32. And the 32 is becoming, certainly for us, the standard because it's not very much more expensive and it is tremendously more powerful and capable of doing a lot of different things. So. And the ESP32 Ethernet support is already going to be included in the wLED version 0.12. Awesome. So it won't need a separate binary, right? You're saying it'll work right out of the box. So back to the notes for those of you that are joining us late here. This is the numero uno new feature. This is support for multiple LED outputs. So as of right now, well, as of 0.11.1, which is the latest full release of wLED, according to the binary, or based on the binary, if that's what you're going to download, if you're not going to do your own compiling, and I don't do my own compiling, I just download the binaries and upload them onto the boards. You can only do one output unless you have a special compiled binary, which Quindor had made months back, and I've been using on my quads, and it's been working great. My Dig quads. But now with this, on version 12, you can go in and designate which pins control the output. So if you have a Dig Uno, that means you can now output to both of the output pins. So on the Dig Uno here, you've got two output pins. And I don't remember which GPIOs they are. Quindor can tell us, but I don't remember which GPIOs they are. They are GPIO 1 and 2 or 3, depending on which one of these, where you put the jumper over here, right? But you've got two outputs here. So that makes this actually now the Dig Duo, because you can now output two different strings and tell them to do two totally different things. And then the quad has always had the ability to output the 4 outputs, but wLED didn't have an easy way for you to do that. Now it does. If you go in here, configuration, LED preferences, right here where it says hardware setup, you've got an LED outputs section. By default, it's just going to go to 1. And in this case, it's on pin 2. And this is probably like if you go ESP32 pin out, I wonder what you have to select. Well, I guess how is it on yours, Quindor? Do you number them like they do sometimes, where they're D1 instead of the GPIO number? Yeah, like, oh no, you just do the input-output numbers. Is that what they're using? Any idea what the max capacity per output is? No. I would bet, well, that was the other thing. You know what I didn't see? Somewhere in here, there should be a frame rate sensor, basically, or something that tells you how the frame rate is doing. So what's going to happen if you've got too many LEDs on there? For one, I guess you got to worry about current. If you're using a Dig Quad or a Dig Uno, the current is actually running through the board so that it can be fused, which is a great feature. But that means you got to be mindful of that. You got to make sure that you're not going to overload wires or whatever. So there's one limit there. So count your LEDs, figure out your total current, make sure you're not going over that, because that's one limitation. The other is how much brain capacity, how much computing capacity does the chip have on the ESP32? I don't know if we've reached the maximum. I don't know what the maximum would be. It used to be that wLED had a maximum of 1500. I don't know if that's 1500 per output. Probably not. And that was just a software limit, was my understanding. What Quindor taught me is when you get into trouble when you get into trouble with too many LEDs, what you'll see is slowing down of your frame rate. So if you're trying to do something really cool, then it may look a little stuttery or kind of skip a beat here and there. What is the max amount of addressable LEDs per controller? There you go. I'm not even going to try and read all this. Too long. Didn't read. Oh, I don't even need to post it in the chat because it's right there. Use Quindor's link. Check the article. Thank you. So basically, what does it come down to? Simplest explanation is that with the protocol having a fixed speed, it takes about 30 microseconds to update a single LED. That means we can update a maximum of 33.333 pixels per second at 1 hertz frames per second. It's 1 hertz, 1 frame per second. Now let's see what that equates to if we want to have higher frames per second. Oh. So 500 LEDs at 60 frames per second, 800 at 42 frames per second. Okay. Wow. Here we go. So unlimited controller driving power. So here, if you want to slow down your frames per second, or when you go higher on your number of LEDs, you're going to slow down your frames per second. So that kind of just depends on what you're doing and what you want it to look like. I think in most cases, even 18 frames per second is probably going to be fine, but I've not known anybody to use one controller for 4,000 LEDs. Maybe somebody does out there, but you're going to run into power problems before you run into frame rate problems, right? Hey, Rob's here. How's it going, Rob? 1 hertz per 1 frame per second equals 1 frame per second squared. Is that a velocity? Too much math. Leave that to the smart people. Recommendations. We're talking per channel. Generally recommend you run between 500 and 600 per channel maximum. That will keep the frame rate above the default frame rate of 42 within wLED with a little bit of margin to spare. If you reach 600, so 10 meters, so that's 2. Well, it depends on your density, right? Depends on your density. I would recommend cutting the data connection between the first part and the next strip and running a separate data wire to that part and onward. Expanding beyond that, I recommend switching to 3 to LED strips, which would mean you could run much longer lengths strip before running out of data because it's 3 LEDs instead of 1. So you get further, you can go farther, I guess, even more total LEDs, even though 3 of them are doing the same thing at the same time. Following recommendations. Over 1 or 2 channels is 500 LEDs. Can't really handle a larger amount of LEDs very well. Okay, but that's for the ESP3266. 500 per channel. This is great. I'm just going to start telling everybody this now. Thank you, Quindor, for doing all the math. Total amount of LEDs for the Uno on the ESP32 over 2 channels is 1,200. So over 2 channels. Divided over 4 channels, 2,400. Sweet. How you doing, by the way, Rob? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. What else? That's very useful. Have more questions? Where is the frame rate? Oh, it's probably here. Frames per second. There it is. Right now it's not doing anything. So let's see. Let's go here and let's let it run in effect, even though it's not actually connected to any lights. Let's go in here. We're going to configure. We're going to go to LED preferences, and we're going to tell it that we've got. Let's tell it that we've got 300 LEDs. Okay. Fine. So we're going to tell it that we've got 300 LEDs. And then we're going to run an effect like something that's going to be fairly busy. I think Circus is fairly busy. No, not really. Color Winkles. Color Winkles isn't too busy. Let's do Dynamic. Dynamic is busy. And let's speed up the speed. Okay, now let's go into the info and see what our frames per second is. Frames per second is 41. Let's see what it takes to get it to change. Let's break it. What do you say? I don't know what the max clock of a SK9822 is, but I think it's crazy high. Wow. Run as many as you want. Oh, man. I've not played with those. Let's go back to this. Oops. Let's go back into LED preferences. So let's go to, this is a 32. Let's go to 1200. Let's just go nutty, right? Ludicrous speed. Okay. Let's peek at that again. Is it running dynamic? It doesn't seem to be. Where'd it go? Oh, you can search for it. Because this is another new feature. Dynamic. Oh, it's unhappy. Why is it not showing? It's not showing me a preview. Is that because it's just not able to? Huh. So maybe I did break it. Do I have to change that? Oh, now, if you guys want to follow some smart dudes talking about smart stuff, Quindor and Rob right now, talking about stuff that is above my head. Okay, turning it on. Turning on. Dynamic. Yeah, turning on peak. Why is it not wanting to come on? What the heck? Huh. It's interesting. Oh, it just shuts right off. It's angry with me. Oh, it's very angry. Turn it on, it goes right back off. Oh, man. You guys watching this? Hold on, I gotta text for a second. Okay. Interesting. So what if I go lower? Anybody know what's going on here? Open it up, no limits. Turn brightness limiter off. Oh. Thank you. Sorry. PM in Discord. Oh yeah, you're probably trying to tell me that for a while now. Dev bin. Oh, what's this one do? Installed recognition of people with my POE cameras. It would be interesting to follow a person with the LED only to illuminate their path. Oh, that would be super cool. Be right back button. Nah. You guys can just come along with me as I answer my text. They use too many big words. Okay, so that's why it was turning off. So now let's go back in here. Let's see if we can play with the frame rate now. Turn the brightness limiter off, set it to 1200. And now let's find dynamic again. Turn on peak. There we go. Turn it up. And now let's look at the info. It says 2 frames per second. I think that's right. 25 frames per second. There you go. So 25 frames per second is what it's doing. Now, if we change the number of LEDs, let's go down to, say, 1,000. Now it's a little bit higher, right? But still not back to the 41, 42 that it was. So we go back in here. Oops. And LED preferences, we're going to go down to 800. Gosh. FPS is too low. Looks like it reset at some point. 39. So you get to 800 and it's pretty close. And then I bet you if you switch to a different, less intense, let's say, well, not colorful, color winkle. This one's probably less intense. Certainly if we turn down the speed too and turn down the intensity, so it's lighting up less lights. Let's see what that does to the frame rate. It's still about the same. I guess maybe it's because it's got to send a signal to any LED whether it's lit or not. Is that why? Flash that binary to fix that FPS issue. Oh, really? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we're going to update this. So does that mean on the when 12 comes out for real, it'll be this dev version? What is the FPS issue? Is it just that it doesn't refresh or what? FPS also controls the fade in and fade out. So it does still have to give some information. What is happening? Manual OTA update. Choose the version. ESP32 dev bin. Update. So there's no limit on LEDs, really, except power. It just goes as fast as it can. Yeah, that's true. So if it goes really slow, that's your limit. 2 limits. Can you explain the hardware setup, LED outputs? How is this different than segments? The difference is, Joseph, when you configure a segment, so say you've got one output, okay, one actual, let's look at a Did You Know for a second, right? There are, on these 4 outputs right here, these 4 connectors, one of them is power, one of them is ground, and then 2 of them are data outputs. We typically only use 1, okay, but the board was designed to be able to have 2 outputs. So if you had the LEDs that have a different clock and a different data signal, so some do. Most of the ones that everybody uses, the WS2011s and 2812s, don't. But some other versions of the LEDs do take 2 data outputs, or 2 data outputs. They take a data output and a clock output. So that's why it's designed that way. But typically, we only connect one of these to our strip of LEDs. So with one of those connected to one strip of LEDs, you can go in here and you can change segments. Right? And you can go, okay, the first 20 LEDs I want to do this, the next 20 I want to do this, the next 50 I want to do something else, and you change what it does, but it's all coming off of one actual physical connection on the board. What has changed with version 12 is that now you can set it up to have more than one physical output. So right now, it's outputting to pin 2, and it's outputting all of the LEDs to pin 2, but let's say I wanted to output half of them to pin 1 or to pin 2, which is the standard pin, and the other half of them I wanted to output to pin 1. I could do that now. And then I could change, maybe these, this is really cool, maybe these are WS2811s and these are WS2812s. Now this doesn't change, but this changes. The color order changes. And this actually happened to me on my my girls' Christmas tree. So the girls had a little Christmas tree in their room, and I put some pixels on there, WS2811 pixels, and then I also put on some of those fairy lights, which are actually WS2812s. So the RGB color order is different. So when the 11s, when the 2811 pixels were showing green, the 2812s were showing red. And that kind of sucked, right? It kind of messed up if you wanted the whole thing to look like a candy cane, you couldn't. Now with this, I could. I would have to hook up the 2811s to one physical output, okay? 2811s to one of these outputs, and the 2812s to the other output. So it's kind of the same as segments. I see where you're seeing there's a similarity, because you get to tell a different section of LEDs what to do. The difference is with segments, it's within one physical connection. With these LED outputs, it's a separate physical connection, separate wire going to a separate strip of LEDs. Pretty cool, right? Discovered an FPS bug like 2 days ago, which is fixing that version. Okay, FPS bug. Awesome. Okay, so let's try that. Let's do that. We'll save it like that. I guess that doesn't really matter. And then I guess here, do I have to designate? Do I still have to designate it here? I probably still do, don't I? I probably still have to have a separate segment for that output. So I guess with this, your two different outputs would still be running as one segment, correct? Whole other bandwidth for how many pixels? All right, but for this, I'm going to say it's 400, and then I'm going to add a segment that's the next 400, right? Okay, and then I can control these separately, and I can have them do separate things. So I can have one of them do dynamic. Maybe it's the other one that's doing dynamic. I guess this would mean both of them are doing dynamic. Nope, it's only going here. It's happening. Oh, maybe I need to learn how to use it. It is so over the top nice. Like, I can't imagine anyone ever producing an LED controller that will ever hold a candle to it. Isn't that so nice? Isn't that so nice? Can you set each output individually? Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to, Eric. That's what I'm struggling with right now, actually. Because right now it's only showing half of them, and I'm not sure why. It should be showing them all. But it is only showing half. I don't know why. So I should be able to like highlight this one and then pick an effect for that one. Okay? And then highlight this one and pick a different effect. But it's not, it should be showing up over here, and it's not. I don't know why. But it's possible that I'm still not understanding how the for reference, how many LEDs are you running outside of my house? Good question. I should have that number on the top of my head, but the problem is I add them and I don't count what I've added. I would say, well, I'm probably around 800 or so, 800, 900. Segment LED numbers aren't set. Start LED, stop LED. Start LED, stop LED. Oh, this one should be set to 400. Yeah, see, I don't understand. Like, why is this one not working over here? Should be. Spam all you want, Quindor. You know what's happening. You don't have to. Yeah, you have freedom to spam. If Sir Goodenough gives you freedom to spam, that is freedom to spam. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what's going on. So am I right about that, Quindor, and others that have used 12? Go back to config. Is it in here? Pin 2, pin 1. Start at 400. Second channel is now set to 1 LED. Make it 400. Oh. Oh, I see. Right here. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So you have to, you tell it where it starts and where it ends. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And then how does this work? You've got to have it like to the next LED, right? Oh, the count. Hey, Dawson. How's it going, buddy?
Sweaty.
You sweating? What were you doing?
Making pies.
Sweet. That sounds like fun. 1 to 400, 401 to 800. Oh, no. Well, does it go to 800? 400 is correct. Okay, so this is different than segments, right? Because segments, you're giving it the 400 is correct for the start. Is 800 correct then? This must be 800. Although it doesn't seem like it should be. When it says count, it should be, getting it to 800. So that would be 400. Interesting. Because then it's not like segments. Because segments you would say 400 to 800. Count equals 400. Yeah. So it's different. It's different than segments. Just the number of LEDs. Right. Got to keep that straight. Maybe something to change. We should probably tell Air Cookie. Just for consistency. For consistency. You can say start and end. Start and end. That's what I would do. Over 9,000. 9,000 gigawatts. All right, now let's go back and play with it. I do this just for all you guys out there who struggle sometimes. I like to just show you that you're not alone. You are not alone. Oh, there you go. Yay! All right, so now if we're going to let's do candy cane over there. Speed it up. Okay. And then let's do colorful on that side. There you go. Now, if I had, this is because I have them also set up as two separate segments, right? So segment 1 or segment 0 is actually my first output channel. Segment 1 is my second output channel. Now, I should be able to do a segment that is all of them together, right? So I could do a segment that is like new segment here, which is segment 2, and we make it all of them. So if we open up segment 2 here, this will now control all of them together. Hey. Yeah. There it goes. So now it's controlling all of them together. So even though they're on two physically different outputs, they're doing the same effect as if they were one continuous output. So if you did something like chase, I think I broke it. Yeah, I'm definitely freaking it out. But anyways, yes, one big segment, but delete the others because it's confusing it. You're so confusing. I was hoping that you could do it so you had the option to say, sometimes I want it to be separate. Sometimes I want it to be the same. See, we're never satisfied, right? You do this awesome stuff and we just want more because that's how we are. The nature of being horrible humans. Yeah, I'm going to crash it. Let me see if it's smoking hot yet. Yeah, it's warm, but it's not burning my hand or anything. Does the capacitor on the DrZz protect the MCU or strip or both? Quindor can tell you. I think it's one. Is it one for... Well, you got one. I think it's mostly for the strip. Sure. Just make presets for that. Oh, yeah. Good idea. Instead of different segments. Oh, man. Interessante. Okay, I should probably start to wrap up for the night on how cool the update is. The update is cool. Needs water cooling. Not that hot yet. burst protection for the strip, but also prevents burnouts and high peak loads. There you go. Anyways, this is super cool. So we went through all of these new parts to ESP or to wLED 12. And hopefully it's pretty close to release, but it's going to be awesome whenever it does come. We can be patient. We can be patient, right? But this is the awesomest part, is being able to have these multiple outputs and switch which pin it's going to, what kind of LED it is, and the output or the RGB color order. Magnificent. And that's what this part is. Switch the pins and the LED type, and on the fly, like live, you don't have to do a custom binary. Palette previews, which I guess we didn't really show that on this particular one, but now when you look over here at the palettes, it gives you an idea of what the palettes are like. And I was telling the story earlier that I was laying in bed with my little girls last night. We were playing with their lights on their ceiling, and they wanted something green. And I just kept going through. Obviously, forest sounded like something green, but other than that, I didn't know what else was green. We finally found Aurora, and it was exactly what we were looking for. But I didn't have this version of wLED running, and so we didn't see these previews. Now you have these previews of what they look like. And if you change your colors up here, it shows you which parts of the palette it changes. I don't know if it's all of them, but like if you go, let's put a secondary color here and do something like this. So now we can see. You can see where it changes some of those, probably this one. Some of them it won't change, some of them it will. I don't know if there's others that it's changed or not, but probably not too many. Most of them are up at the top. But anyways, it changes based on what you do. In some cases, what you do for your colors, right? If you change your colors up here, it gives you different things down here. Cool, right? Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And you can search your palettes. You can search your effects. Oh, and we didn't really look at this, but, well, we didn't look at it recently, but it will also detect other instances of wLED that are running right now. Actually, I unplugged the other two that I had flashed with this newest version, but you can see, just like the app finds them, this will find them in here. And then you can jump right to other instances of wLED, basically to other controllers, like right away. Super cool. And anything else? And there's that frames per second. Oh, I didn't see Aurora and Tetrix effects. Look and see what they do. See what Aurora. Oh, just kind of like Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis. That is cool. I like it. That's going to be a fun one. Okay, and then Tetrix. Is this... Are any of these made for a matrix yet, I wonder? Doesn't look like it. What is this one doing? I don't even know. Oh, there it goes. Something's happening. Is it like counting down or something? It's like eating the thing. What other color is that? Where's that color coming from? Huh. I don't know how you change that one. That's cool. Yeah, jump to instances. It is super nice. It's interesting how much time is given your electrical DIY stuff on the Hobbit hole in the DIY network. Probably none. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see, because when I'm going to go through and film a lot of stuff that's going to be on the inside as well. And some of that stuff is going to be, this sort of DIY stuff. I haven't really talked to them about like highlighting Home Assistant and some of those things. So what I expect is going to happen, we're going to have, gosh, I'm sure maybe not hundreds, but dozens of hours of video footage of the whole thing. And it's too dark to show you. And they're going to use whatever they want to make 45 minutes of show for them. But then whatever I've filmed, I get to use for myself afterwards. So if you don't see, oh yeah, there it is. Cool. So if you don't see, it looks like somebody left their truck up there. But basically, this is the camera. This is a great camera. Reolink, dude, thank you. This is my 4G Reolink camera, and I've been watching the construction guys on Monday. I was like texting them and watching what they were doing, shooting, getting little clips and snapshots and stuff of what they were doing up there. It's awesome. So cool. Where this truck is up here, and it actually has sound too, I can hear it. Where this truck is up here is where the pavilion is. That's where the electrical stuff's going to go. And then down here is where the actual Hobbit hole is. So in the daytime, you can see those better. Let's see, playback, what do we have? I guess there's not really anything else on there. So anyways. Yeah, pretty sweet. I have to not sit and watch it all day, but it's actually been really good. This one has this 4G camera here. I'm gonna have to talk about it in the video for them, but this is it's got a solar panel, and I've used it every day for at least several minutes every day. Plus, it's doing time lapse for me constantly, and I haven't seen the battery do anything less than full. So pretty sweet, right? Pretty sweet. Okay, turning off. Turning off, turning off, turning off, turning off. Pizza Cat, can I flash an ESP with the update? Oh, you can use this one, yes. Not the one that Quindor posted, or he just sent that to me, so never mind. But yes, you can use this one right here for an ESP3266. All right. Any update on the Mega for the door and window setup? I ordered one hoping it works. It has been working. I haven't been using it. I haven't gotten downstairs to install it. The people to talk to, if you want to ping some people that have been playing with it, Paul isn't. Gosh, he was here tonight. Is it R Paul? Paul R? Can't remember. Too many people. I apologize. I know you guys. I just can only hold so many names in my head. C# Worm, he's the guy he's the real master of it. But then I know that, dang it, it's been a while, I guess, since he messaged me about it at all. Paul R, yeah, it's Paul R. Paul R has been playing with it and has it working. And he's like, C# Worm is the guy that wrote the code, wrote the Arduino stuff, so he knows it back and front. Paul R is like, he's like me, like fumbling through trying to figure it out. Probably has more knowledge than me still, but he's still just kind of learning it, figuring it out. And he got it working and figured it out and was going to do some other things to it. He's going to add a bunch of stuff to it. A branch for reading moisture sensors. Awesome. Awesome. How about temp sensors too? Just saying. Leviton has started putting their names on the light switches. Have your contactor use something like Hubble. Oh, really? I'm going to do some really weird stuff, and we're going to have, maybe I can do it next week. And we talked about this a little before. But this guy, the guy that invented this and sells this, his name's Derek. He is, I want to put this in the Hobbit hole. It's basically a low voltage. I think it's 24 volts. I can't remember for sure. There it is. There's Paul here, and I am fumbling. But basically it's basically PoE for lights and light switches. So everything comes back to the hub here. So every light has an Ethernet cable that goes to it, and that's all. So it's DC, low power lights. It can have a decent amount of power, right? But because I think you can do some PoEs with, depending on your voltage, you can do 100 watts, 150 watts even, which is way more than we would need for an LED bulb, right? But anyways, this is what I want to put in the house. And he's going to come on the stream and talk about it with us. So I got to schedule that with him, but maybe that's a good one to schedule for next week. Would you guys be interested in that? What do you think? Okay. Try to contact Lumicash. They don't have very good service. I can tell you know why, Omar? I can tell you that it's like one dude, think he was telling me, like, I had like an hour and a half conversation with him, and he's tried to keep it pretty small. Like when he talks to big companies, he goes to these meetings and they're like, oh yeah, how many people are working for you? He's like, 3. They're like, what? Yeah. And so that's probably why, but he's also, they're ramping up for being bigger and more capable of doing some of those things. So he's still been just kind of developing things for a while, even though he is selling some, and he's got installs in quite a few places, including this is a real house, right? It's still something that is growing. So, but as a guy who definitely gets a lot of customer service emails, texts, questions, posts, etc., I can, number one, attest to how hard it is sometimes to keep up with all that stuff. Marty, why are you awake at 2 a.m.? I don't know, but let's let you go to bed. PoE lights. Now I have like 45 lights in my home, and I'm trying to make a DIY panel for the service. Omar, you totally could. You totally could. I certainly would if Richard hadn't put me in touch with Derek, and Derek's gonna work us out a special deal. So because it seems like a great idea. You're gonna have to think about how you're gonna switch them and how they're gonna communicate, and there's some things you have to work out, but totally doable. Totally doable to have PoE lighting in your house, which is crazy cool, right? Crazy cool. So that's what we're gonna do in the Hobbit home. Lamps currently in my house, but I could never get the panel. Richard knows a lot about it too. Richard has it in his house, so he's a good guy to talk about it. And this, what's interesting too is that like this, so everything gets an Ethernet cable. Every light bulb gets an Ethernet cable. Maybe I guess you could potentially chain a couple of them, but mostly it's all of them on, or each of them is on one. That's probably how I'll do it, because I'm not going to have unless I do like a chandelier, I guess, which we might be able to do. But I want to have light switches that you can't, like, they're not light switches, right? I want capacitive touch that are just like a patch on the wall. You just, so it doesn't look like a light switch. It just looks like a piece of wood, and you just, maybe it's got a little bit of an engraving or something like that on it, a little symbol. You just touch it. That way it doesn't look like, you don't walk around a Hobbit hole and have a bunch of Decora light switches, right? We got to do this right, man. We're going to do this Hobbit hole. We're not going, Hobbit hole. We're not going halfway on the Hobbit hole. Not at all. Kind of like yours, James. Yep, exactly. It's a good idea, right? I'm so glad that somebody's really doing it. Okay, we better call up the kids. Hey, Stove Doctor, how's it going? We better call up the kids. I got to get ready for bed again, because I got to go to work in a couple hours. Don't forget to Cal for the next stream. It's not Sunday. Will do. Okay, here come my girls. Changing the calendar right now for a second. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Somebody help me.
Now, okay, so let's change the stream. For now, I'm just going to delete that one. And then I will put it on, and it will probably be, I don't know what night it's going to be. Maybe Monday night. Maybe I'll do it Monday night. It's probably a good time to do it. It's going to have to be a night, most likely. And then the 31st, all the way through probably the 4th, I will be up at Aidendale. Potentially.
Are we?
I hope so, but I don't know. Mom will have to bring you up and bring you back because school and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. You guys ready to sign off?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do something special? How do you want to sign off?
Zoe's birthday.
Zoe's birthday. Should we sing happy birthday to Zoe? Let's sing happy birthday to Zoe. Everybody ready? Zoe turned 15. It was her quinceañera. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zoe. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Happy birthday, baby. Tricks. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. I hope you have a happy one. It's your birthday. I hope your day is really fun. Golly, Zoe, you sure are looking fun. Happy birthday. It's your day to shine. And she's wearing her birthday present in her ear there. Yeah. Those are your old ones? Oh. Okay, everybody. Have a great night. And we will see you all early next week. Watch the calendar. I will let Sir Goodenough know. But I'm feeling like Monday night. Okay. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time. Adios.
Happy birthday, Zoe. Oh,
Ah,
Daddy.